So excited that it's finally spring.
I know the temperature is actually getting warmer now.
Yeah. Hey, I thought we should do a lab that explained why that is, why the seasons changing changes the temperature.
That's actually a really good idea. Why don't we give it a shot? Activity 7.1, why do the seasons change? We're going to learn why we have 4 different seasons. Much of this is due to the angle of the sun relative to the surface of the earth. During the course of the year, this changes and varies. When the sun is at its highest or its lowest point, we call this the solstice. When we have equal length of day and night, this is called an equinox. Here's a picture to help you understand how the seasons change in Chicago. Here we got the Sears Tower. We just had the vernal equinox. Vernal means spring, springtime equinox. At noon on the vernal equinox, the angle of the sun relative to the earth in Chicago is 43 degrees. Then, in the summer, when the temperatures are even warmer, the angle of the sun relative to the earth is even larger. It is 62 degrees, as you can see in this picture. In September, we go back to the autumnal equinox, which is September 23rd. During this time, the angle of the sun relative to the earth in Chicago at noon is 41 degrees. Lastly, during this winter solstice on December 21st, the angle of the sun relative to the earth in Chicago at noon is only 20 degrees. Let's do an experiment to see how does this affect the seasons, the angle of the sun. So our independent variable is going to be the angle of the sun, and our dependent variable is the intensity of the sunlight on the earth.
In the kit for this lab, you're going to find a ruler and a protractor, one flashlight, and then you'll also have a clipboard with some graph paper on it. Flashlight turns on just by twisting the nozzle a little bit. It's important that you keep the nozzle adjusted to the same setting the entire lab. You'll be setting the flashlight on top of a book or your trapper or something as a support for that. You'll be using the ruler to measure the distance from the book to the clipboard and the protractor to measure the angle that the clipboard is at. You'll be changing the angle of the clipboard and seeing how that affects the intensity of the light that's hitting the paper. You're going to start setting up this lab by placing a book or a trapper on your desk and placing a flashlight on top of that. You'll place the clipboard 5 centimeters away from the edge of the book, and then turn on the flashlight, setting the cone so that it's the same angle the entire lab. You'll use the protractor to simulate the angles that the Earth is tilted from the sun during the spring, fall, summer, and winter. And then you'll circle the amount of light hit by the flashlight. Afterwards, you're going to be asked to rank the intensity or brightness of the light from 1 to 4. Keep in mind that the more squares the light hit, the more spread out it is, and so the less intense it is. Go ahead and get to work.